Hi guys, I'm Sticks.
And I'm Stone.
Welcome to Rock and Roll Nerds.
And this is our top 10 worst comic book films.
So sit back, relax, crack open a beer, and prepare to get catty.
Hi guys, welcome to Rock and Roll Nerds and welcome to another top 10.
Top 10.
And this week we are going to do something a little bit different.
Yeah.
We're going for a worst of, rather than the best of, or what we think are the best. We are going to be thinking what the worst are. So we're going for the worst comic book films. So basically they progressively get shitter as we go to the number 1 spot.
Yeah.
So yes, let's get on with it.
Okay. In at number 10, X-Men Origins Wolverine. Now this one was a bit sort of, you know, people were looking forward to this one because it's like Wolverine, you know, it's a film for Wolverine.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like, and it just didn't really live up to expectations, really. It was just, yeah, it didn't really have, I mean, there was some good bits to it, you know.
Yeah, Deadpool. At the start, Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, that was good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the 5 minutes he was on screen.
Yeah, that's about it.
And then he ruined it at the end with his mouth closed and 2 swords and all that kind of in his arms and all the. It's like, no,
didn't really work.
He's a moat with a mouth. You don't shut him up.
And he loses, obviously, Wolverine loses his memory at the end, sort of thing, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But it's just kind of, ugh.
I think the main thing that got in the way too much was the fucking love story.
Yeah.
Every single time people say it was like feeling like they have to do a love story all the time. And that's one of the things I liked about Guardians of the Galaxy. There was a little tiny bit with the Gamora and Star-Lord, but it was literally like a 2-minute thing, and then she went, no! And that was it. There's no more to it, and it was a great film. It's the thing, love stories are just, sometimes they're just not necessary.
Yeah. And
I didn't think it was necessary here.
Or at least put them in, but certainly
make it
just
small.
make it just small.
Yeah,
don't make it the focus of the film.
Yeah, the hatred between Sabretooth and Logan and figuring out their brothers and everything and their rivalry building, that was enough to carry the film.
Yeah,
because you had 2 great actors. Was it Lev Schneider or something like that? I can't remember the guy's name that played Sabretooth. But it was a good pairing and a good rivalry. They didn't necessarily need the love story in the middle.
No. It's good
yeah,
the way it starts as well when they're like, you see him different points in time.
Yeah.
Still fighting and stuff.
Yeah, the intro was good. And like I said, there were good points to it, but overall it just didn't live up to what we thought it was going to be.
No.
And again, there was certain characters they ruined. Gambit I didn't think was great.
Yeah.
They didn't do him a brilliant amount of justice.
No. Much Gambit as well, you know.
Yeah, and then will.i.am was in it as well.
Yeah.
We didn't do a terrible role, but still, it takes you out of the film.
Yeah.
I think when you put people like rappers and people that aren't necessarily full-time actors, it kind of takes you out of the film. It's not, that's a mutant, that's will.i.am trying to act.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not great.
It really worked.
No.
So, that's number 10. In at number
9 is Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3. Now, the first 2, 1 and 2, were awesome. Spider-Man 2 for me goes down as one of the best comic book films ever. I thought it was great. But number 3 just did not live up to expectations. The trailers were amping it up so much. You get a new Goblin, you get Sandman, and then you know that you're getting Venom as well. As soon as you think Venom, you think this is going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was shit. The guy that was playing Venom was just a whiny little, oh god, I don't have my job anymore, I'm going to kill Spider-Man, kill him for me. All that kind of shit. And it's just like, I don't care, just be Venom. And like when he peels his face back and you see the guy's head, it's just like, I want to see that once, maybe twice, but it just, you barely ever see Venom properly, fully, with his mouth and everything. Yeah, it's like, it just didn't do it any justice. And
was it Sandman as well in that?
Sandman, yeah, again, Sandman was alright. The graphics for Sandman were great. I can't deny that. The digital effects they did for that, especially when you see him for the first time and it pans out from the sand further and further away, that was incredible. I can't deny that. But the film, it just didn't work. And we got Emo Parker as well, when he went all dark with the black suit and he was like, I don't give a shit. And then domestic abuse, hits the missus as well, doesn't he? By accident, but he still did it. And he's been a prick when he was going out with Gwen Stacy as well, just to show off in front of Mary Jane. It was a crap ending to previously a good trilogy that was going to come out of it, and it just didn't work. It's a shame, really, because it had a lot of potential. The only thing I can take away from it is that now whenever they get round to doing Venom again, they know it's got to be good, because if
Yeah.
they fail Venom twice, they can't recover from that.
Exactly.
So yeah, in at number 9 is Spider-Man 3.
In at number
8
is Ghost Rider. Yeah, so another one that had a lot of potential.
Yeah. No.
Didn't live up to expectations at all.
No. Nick Cage.
Nick Cage. People don't like Nick Cage. People have mixed reviews. I like Nick Cage.
Yeah, I like Nick Cage, but unfortunately there's just been some times where he's just been in crap roles, and this is one of them.
And I suppose you can't polish a turd, can you?
No.
You can roll it
in glitter.
But, yeah, so Ghost Rider, just didn't... There's not much to say about it, it was just awful.
Yeah, the acting was just... I mean, Nick Cage's acting wasn't too bad, but...
The graphics on, like, the skull
the skull and everything was fine,
well.
but as far as the rest of the cast, because obviously at the end of the day, the cast is what carries it. You've got to act well to make sure the film's carried well. You can't just have a load of special effects and think that'll do.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. But, yeah, the rest of the crew and cast and everything, it just didn't work. They weren't great at it. There were so many, like, things in it, you just think, well, that's shit. No, that don't work. That's crap. So there's no reason why that should happen. And just like, this is not good.
No.
It really isn't. So yeah, Ghost Rider just... I mean, even the second one as well. Did you ever get round to watching the second one?
No.
it was just as poor.
Yeah.
It really was.
First one put me off. I was like, no, I'm not even going to bother.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of potential, but no, they just failed on it, and it just didn't work. It was a shame, really. So never mind. But I think they've pretty much... Ghost Rider's pretty much scrapped for having a reboot at the moment.
It'd be good if they did reboot it well. You know.
Yeah, I think the only way it's going to work is if Marvel and Disney get the rights to it.
Yeah.
If they get the rights, because at the end of the day, they're doing everything well at the moment.
Yeah.
So if they get the rights to it, they could potentially make it amazing. So
Indeed.
we'll have to see, but it was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's in at number 8. Ghost Rider.
So...
In at number...
7!
Is that right? Yeah, that's right.
Is Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
The first one was that.
Yeah.
I was passable.
Yeah.
But Doctor Doom was still a bit not as good as I thought he was going to be. And then the second one, the trailers amped it up so much, and you think this is going to be amazing. We get the Silver Surfer and we get Galactus, the biggest character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like size-wise. He's an eater of worlds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That just sounds like this is going to be a hell of a fight. It was shit. It just didn't work. They had this thing where they were switching powers and everything, but because of the Silver Surfer's activity, they were able to switch powers, and that worked through the film. Silver Surfer ended up not being half the badass he was meant to be, because they were able to disable him and everything, and it was kind of like he was doing it so that he could do it for his love and all this kind of shit. And again, a love story that necessarily wasn't needed. And the thing is, when it got to Galactus, you thought to yourself, right, this is going to be a good final bit. I can forego the whole first part of the film if the big bit of Galactus at the end is going to be amazing. And it wasn't. He was just a big woof of cloud that's just surrounded the Earth. Yeah. And it just didn't work. And like Doctor Doom, again, he was back, but I didn't really care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You should care. Doctor Doom, Stan Lee said that Doctor Doom is one of his favourite villains of all time. And the fact that you're sitting there watching the film, of his live action film, and you just don't care whether he's there or not. And that shouldn't be the case.
It's just not.
And it just wasn't.
Grab you.
Yeah, and it should have. It had all the necessary ingredients to make it one hell of a Marvel cake, but it just ended up falling apart in the oven.
Like a bad souffle.
Like a bad souffle. That's what Fantastic Four is.
I'm gonna get that on a T-shirt.
Yeah, Fantastic Four. It's
like
a bad souffle.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's in at number 7, the shitty second film of Fantastic Four.
In at number 6 is the Hulk. Well, I think it was just called Hulk.
Yeah, just Hulk.
Yeah, this was not the one they redid. It was the one before.
Yeah, it was the first Hulk film. They rebooted it later with Ed Norton, and that was part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But this was stood alone.
Yeah, and it failed alone. It fell alone.
It failed miserably.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking awful. I remember my mum got it for Christmas on DVD. I don't know why. I don't even remember asking for it, but I got it and watched it once, and then never watched it again. I think I gave it away. I literally took it out.
I don't even want money for it.
Just have it.
Yeah, don't want it.
I think I gave it to you.
Did you? I must have threw it away because it's not in my collection. You get it, oh, cheers. Dearie, get the bin.
So, yeah. So, it was pretty awful. The acting was terrible. The only good thing about it was probably the graphics for the Hulk and how it changed.
It looked alright.
And that weren't bad. And then, I think a half decent game came out of it. I think the game was you could jump over buildings and
that wasn't too bad. The game
which was always a bit fun if you're just a bit angry.
Yeah.
But apart from that,
but I mean, I think the main thing I didn't like about it was the plot.
Yeah.
It just did not work. It was so loose and everything just didn't kind of cohesively meld into a good solid film. It was too wish-washy and all this kind of stuff, and I did not like it. There had so much potential because it had so many great actors in it. Even the dude that played the villain was a really good actor, but I didn't really care. I was like, yeah, I know it's his dad, and he experimented on him and made the Hulk, and the villain wasn't good enough. I think personally they should have either gone with Red Hulk or the Abomination, Abomination is what they decided to go with for the Incredible Hulk, which is fine, which is good, and I did enjoy that one. But the bad guy just wasn't good enough. I didn't like it. I just didn't care really.
No, just boring.
It was boring. It was just like not enough happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It seemed to be every single time that he hulked out, he wasn't having much of a fight with people. He was kind of running from people mostly, or running to something. And that's it. It just didn't work. Didn't like it.
So that's number 6 with Hulk. Then they rebooted it and it
did alright.
I
didn't mind it. I thought it was good, but again because it was Marvel that got hold of it properly. Marvel Studios and they're part of the cinematic universe. It still did alright. I think, and again they had a better villain this time.
Yeah, and better actor.
Ed Norton was a great actor.
Yeah, we like Ed.
Yeah, I mean I think Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is the best Hulk we've had. But Ed Norton, if he'd have stayed on, I wouldn't have complained. Not at all.
Yeah, so that's in at number 6.
In
at number
5 is Daredevil. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of you know how bad this film was. It wasn't going to go off to a great start anyway because I didn't mind Daredevil. I read the comics and everything, but it never resonated with me that much.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Bullseye was a good character. I didn't mind Colin Farrell's version of Bullseye. That was alright. And J. Clark Duncan's version of Kingpin. That was alright. Wasn't too bad. But as the story goes, and Ben Affleck as the Daredevil, it was just it was the acting that failed on this film more than anything. It was shit. It just didn't work. The costume looked cool. The idea for the film was pretty simple but good, and it was crap. Elektra didn't like it. That she didn't work as a character.
No. It just wasn't.
Everybody knows how bad this film was.
Also, I think Josh pointed out the other day because I was talking to him about it for some reason. I can't remember why, but he's blind. Yeah. And there's a scene where he's looking out a window.
Yeah, I was like, well, what are you looking at?
I mean, we're not saying blind people can't stand at windows.
Yeah, but you at the end of the day, you stand at a window to look out of the window. And I know that his other senses are heightened by the fact of him being blind, and that's how he becomes the Daredevil. But you still can't see out of a window. You can't see out of a window. It's not like the Matrix where you can see everything code. It doesn't.
It's just.
You can't see.
I'm gonna go over here.
All right.
It's just the same over there.
Yeah, it's just crushing darkness.
Complete darkness.
But another thing that annoyed me as well was the fight between him and Bullseye in the church. When Bullseye was throwing all those things at him, he was just spinning backwards, flipping backwards in a straight line. One of them would have caught him, and it didn't. If you want to get out of that, you jump to the right or jump to the left, or you move out of the way. You don't spin backwards in a line, because they will hit you.
That was so shit.
Yeah,
I'll go backwards.
Yeah, that was shit. It was so bad.
Yeah.
The fight between him and Kingpin weren't too bad, but I think that's because Duncan just carried the Kingpin role really well with his big hulking mass.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a film. Pretty forgettable, to be honest. Yeah. Not great.
Just take it out your memories completely, really.
Yeah, you don't need it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that's in at number 5. Daredevil. In at number
4.
Superman Returns. Yeah. Yeah, another one that people were like waiting for. Yeah,
he's returning.
And it just crashed and burnt. It was awful, basically. And the only saving grace of it was Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, doing Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
He did a great Lex Luthor. That was the only real reason that kept me watching it to the end, was him.
Yeah. And apart from that,
yeah, Superman just helps people. I understand he has to help people. He's Superman,
He
but we
saves
never
them.
see the Man of Steel side of him. We never see him do enough fighting.
Yeah.
He's always on his ass, or he's always helping someone. It's just like you need to have a healthy mix of both. You need to show why he's the strongest man in the world, not just by picking up a boat out of the water to save people.
Yeah.
You should save them, then go find Lex Luthor and beat the shit into him.
Yeah, kick his ass.
But you don't. He just kryptonite, and that's it. He's on his ass.
It's awful.
Yeah.
It was just a big pile of spunk.
And I think it was because it was amped up so much because it'd been such a long time since we'd had a Superman film.
Yeah.
They finally got back to doing one, a modern one with better graphics and all this kind of stuff, and really going for it. And it just, again, it was the point of building everybody up. Everybody's drinking the Pepsi Max that is Superman. Oh, this is going to be great. And then you get into the bottle and you realise it's just ice and water.
Yeah.
It's
Not good.
no,
Not good at all.
shite.
And I'm hoping. Well, I've heard there was a rumour about with the Batman vs Superman thing that Bryan Cranston was going to be Lex Luthor. I don't know if that's still happening.
No, that's not. Apparently, they've cast Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, the guy from Social Network.
See, I think Bryan Cranston would have made a great Lex.
Bryan Cranston would have made it an epic Lex Luthor, and I hope in the future we get that. But I'm still alright with Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
Because he's good at showing being a calm, collected prick. And he was doing that in the Social Network.
Isn't it weird that his name is nearly Heisenberg?
Yeah. That is really weird. That is weird. Maybe it's his son. But yeah, I think he's got the opportunity, good at being the cool, collective asshole.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So hopefully, that might have some saving grace to it.
I hope so.
Yes. So, Superman Returns at number 4. And number
3 is Elektra.
Ugh.
Look, just don't watch it. Don't watch it. I'm not even going to waste my time trying to explain how shit this was. Daredevil was crap. This was another level of shittery. It was just so bad. Shittery. It was rubbish. Don't watch it.
As well.
Yeah. Elektra. Shittery. It's just not even going to waste my time.
Yeah,
So shit.
We've already spent enough time on it. That's it.
Crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Bollocks.
And at number 2, Batman and Robin.
Oh God.
Wow. Right. So yeah, this was a great film when you're 5.
Yeah. That's it. As soon as you get over 5, you don't really give a fuck.
You've got George Clooney, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Uma Thurman.
3 of the best actors we have in our arsenal.
Yeah. And wow, just cheesy lines everywhere, bad acting. I think they were just sort of like, oh, this was just an easy payday, and they just didn't put a heart in it. You can tell.
Yeah, you can tell they didn't care. They just weren't that.
You know, you didn't get Mr. Freeze, you get Poison Ivy.
I know, for the first time as well. It's not like they've redone the character. You get in him for the first time.
Wasn't Bane in it as well?
Yeah, Bane, but they did that shit as well. I'm sorry, but Bane was like he should have been like he was in The Dark Knight Rises. Yes, he's a big hulking mass with venom pumping through his veins, but he was still a very intelligent character. And they just did him as this big henchman, dumbass. Breaking walls and punching people. Yeah, like Brock Lesnar. Yeah, and then Uma Thurman's Poison Ivy was the Paul Heyman to the Brock Lesnar. Yeah. She was doing all the talking and he was doing all the hitting.
Yeah, just not good.
It was
not good. Don't waste your time with it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was going to be great, and when I was watching it as a kid, it is great. But when you grow up, because Batman's not just for children. I'm sorry, it's not. Batman is one of the darkest characters we've got as a comic book character, and it's for adults as well.
Indeed.
And this film just was not. It was, and the whole
like bright colours.
Yeah, it's just like, and then the final 3 suits with Batman, Robin, and Catwoman, Batwoman or Batgirl, whatever you want to call her. They all had like black with silver all over. And I was just like, you're just cashing in on merchandise. That's what you're doing. Yeah. That is what you're doing. You're cashing in on the merchandise. You're going to get all these toys because you're going to get a different suit every fucking scene. And it's just, it was so bad that the acting between Clooney and Chris O'Donnell that played Robin, about them arguing about who wants to be on top and everything and fighting, I didn't feel like I cared. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's like he threw him over into this like vat of ice cream or whatever the fuck it was, and he goes, "I'm going solo." I was like, "Go solo then, fuck you." Yeah. It's like, he's not needed you before. Fuck off, leave, you fucking teenager. I think even as well, I remember seeing an interview with Clooney and someone asked him about it, and he goes, to be honest, I'm so glad that the Dark Knight, the Christopher Nolan trilogy is taken off, because I thought beforehand that we killed it. Yeah. He honestly thought that after that, I was like, yeah, we've killed Batman. It's never going to return.
Luckily it did.
Yeah, thank God for Christopher Nolan. Jesus Christ. Because to come back from that utter dog shite of a film is a hell of a feat.
And the fact is, as well, like before that, in the same sort of timeline universe of it, I guess, was the Tim Burton ones first.
Yeah, I think they're kind of meant to be the timeline.
I think they were kind of meant to be similar, weren't they?
Yeah.
Close to it. But
they had the same Alfred throughout the whole thread, didn't they?
Yeah, so... But...
They were good.
They were good, like the first two.
Yeah, Batman Forever with Val Kilmer. Yeah, it was alright. But it's still watchable. But I think that was because Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey, they fit their roles quite well.
Yeah, Jim Carrey and that.
Jim Carrey is the Riddler and Two-Face, Tommy Lee Jones. They fit their roles well, and that carried the film quite well.
Indeed.
Plus, we didn't have too much of this arguing with Batman and Robin all the time. You know, Robin kind of appeared mostly at the end. But this Batman and Robin is just it had so much potential, and it fucking failed miserably.
Really
and it is a shame because there were so many good actors in it, and they just don't get me wrong. Uma Thurman is Poison Ivy. She was.
Yeah.
She looked good. She couldn't act good on that one, though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was.
So we'll put that back in the vault and
never watch it ever again, unless I'm watching it with my children or something like that. But even then, I don't know whether I want to subject them to it. You know what I mean? No, don't watch that. Watch Batman vs Superman, because that's what Batman should be.
Yeah. It's just abuse if you let them watch that.
Yeah, I'm not going to let it.
No. Anyway, so that's number 2, Batman and Robin. So, our big one.
In at number 1 is Catwoman. Oh, God!
Okay,
this was oh fuck me, this was so bad, and it wasn't even Selena Kyle. It wasn't even the one from the DC comics. It was just some random person, and it could have been good because it's Halle Berry. She's a good actor. She's got a lot of potential. She's got some acting chops, and it was just the shittest cat fight I've ever seen. And it was, I mean, fair enough, the costume made it look fucking sexy as hell, I mean, but it was really dominatrix kind of looking, and the bad guy
that's
was...
what they were trying to go on, wasn't it? You know, it's like, this is awful, let's just try and make it sexy.
Let's just milk it for all it's worth. And the bad guy was some kind of bitch businesswoman. I was just like, I don't care. That's not a good enough comic book villain for me. That's shit.
Yeah.
And it's just... I don't know, it's just... It feels like... Didn't she, like, in the film, like, become a Catwoman because she's now got the senses of a cat somehow? I don't know how it happened, but she's got the senses of a cat because of something. I was just like, no, she become Catwoman because she's a master burglar thief and she's a bit nutty in the head.
Yeah.
Not because she's got the DNA of a cat.
Yeah. Well, they kind of did that with the Tim Burton.
They did, but they didn't, because she was already going a bit nutty, wasn't she?
Well, she got chucked out the window.
Yeah.
And then she was kind of a bit sort of, and then it obviously just sent something going, and then the cats are like licking her.
But that's
not really DNA.
Yeah, it's not DNA the cat. But this, it kind of basically said that she had like cat blood running through her veins. I was like, no. And it's just like the graphics were shit as well. They were so plastic. You know what I mean? That you could tell when it was Halle Berry and when it wasn't.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work. The fights were crap. The story was shit. It wasn't going to be good anyway. No. Because Catwoman can't last outside the Batman universe. Mm. I mean, even Christopher Nolan was a bit dubious about having him in the Batman Dark Knight Rises. He was tempted not to have her in. And then they convinced him to. And it did pay off. It worked. You know, yeah.
And also, what's the name that played her?
Anne Hathaway.
Everyone was sort of like,
And it did work well. And she brought that character back from the death. Yeah. You know what I mean? But this just... It wasn't going to be good anyway. It was just a fucking cash grab, and believe me, it definitely was.
Yeah. It didn't even make much cash, I don't think.
No, I don't think it did. I mean, I'm sorry, but even now, if they went for an Anne Hathaway Catwoman standalone, I'd still be like, nah, I'm not really that interested. Because she works great when she's around Batman, around in Gotham, and working off those characters and those situations. If she's got her own standalone film, I don't give a fuck about her problems, really. I'm not bothered. The main focus of the Gotham DC universe is Batman, not one of the anti-hero / villains.
Yeah.
And it was just crap. It just, even though some of the lines that they were using in this film, so fucking comically pun type thing.
Yeah.
Cats got 9 live bitches or some shit like that. It was
God.
just, it was stuff like that. I was just like, oh god, why am I still watching this? Why with the remote's in my hand? Why am I not? I feel like it maybe in the back of my brain I was going, keep watching, it might get good, and it didn't.
It didn't.
It's just like, no, keep watching because it's going to get shitter. And it did. It was so fucking awful. I didn't want to waste too much time on it, but being as it's our #1 slot, you just have to. We have to let this like a public announcement. Yeah. If you ever see that, even if it's warning. Warning, don't watch it.
That's on the DVD.
Warning, this is shite.
Yeah, don't watch it.
It's just if you see it in a bargain bin for 50p, or you get it free with another DVD or something like that, don't get it.
Just burn it.
Just burn it.
There's another one out of the equation then.
Yeah. Just don't ever watch it. If you want to watch a crap film but it's still quite fun to watch Super Mario Brothers or something. Yeah. That's more passable.
Or the old Popeye film.
But yeah, it was shit but it were good kind of thing. But this was just shit from start to finish. It just didn't work and it's a shame. And I think it did knock Halle Berry's career a bit.
It did, yeah.
I don't think... She has recovered from it now. She's done some great roles since. Obviously she was in James Bond. Which that was probably one of the worst James Bonds, but she did well in that.
Yeah.
She's done well as Storm as well, and she has done some other roles and everything. She's done really well. She did that horror film as well, didn't she?
Yes, Gothica.
That's it. Yeah, and
which I think was a pretty awful film.
Yeah, but her acting in it was all right. It wasn't too bad. But yeah, I think out of all the things she's done, this is the thing that harmed her the most.
She probably doesn't even like to think about it.
I don't think she does. If someone asked her, if I was her and someone asked me a question in an interview about it, I'd say, don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, let's move on.
Don't want to talk about it. It's like if it's like if you got arrested one night. It's like and you know you did something wrong. It's like I don't want to talk about it. I just want to accept I was wrong and move on. And I think she needs to accept the fact that what she did taking that role was not a good idea.
Yeah.
Because it was shit.
Indeed.
So never mind. So yeah, that's our #1 slot.
Yeah.
Ranting for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, basically. And I hope you enjoyed that.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Maybe we've given you some warning if you're like thinking, maybe I want to start watching some comic book films and stuff. Don't watch any of them.
Don't watch those.
Don't bother.
No.
Maybe X-Men Origins Wolverine. You can
give Origins Wolverine.
On a hungover Sunday.
Yeah, that's not too bad. It's passable.
Just have it on in the background.
Even Spider-Man 3 is a little. It's but if you're on a Sunday afternoon, there's nothing on. Stick it on. But the rest of them, especially this one, do not watch them.
Yeah, don't bother.
Yeah, if you want to know what comic book films you should be watching, ask us in the comments and we'll give you a list of the ones you should be watching.
Yeah, indeed. Cool.
So yes.
I hope you enjoyed that. It's our first time we've actually gone a bit
negative.
Bitchy.
Bitchy. I love the fact that Catwoman's at the top as well because we've got the claws out. Give a catty.
Well, that's a nice segue.
Nice segue.
So I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like and subscribe down at the bottom. Also leave your comments. Did we do well? Did we do shit? Let us know. We don't care.
And find us on Facebook as well.
You can indeed.
And Twitter.
And just
stay tuned for more top 10s next week. Maybe the week after. Maybe the week after that.
We don't know. We'll find out.
Cheers!
Hi guys, thank you very much for watching. Please remember, if you like that, don't forget to like and subscribe down the bottom there. Also, if you want to see another chit chat, click here. If you want to see another top 10 or review, click here. And also, have a look for us on Facebook. Thanks guys.